Hello, welcome to the all new, all different Geeks Unleashed. I'm Mark. Which one?
I'm
Hello.
Devaughn.
And Stef.
Sorry, I didn't actually line that up before we started speaking, but
It's
yeah.
all
Anyway,
good.
so
I figured since I got here last, I might as I came in back chat last, so it's like
It's
no,
okay.
no, no, no worries. So Devon is back.
I'm back.
Devon was here 9 episodes ago for the Mark versus Jasmine, where you guys all betrayed me.
Sorry.
what a selection there.
Sorry.
We'll have to do another one of those, mate. I'll have to go for a better choice. Kill Bill or something.
Yeah, something in that wheelhouse. That was just almost
Listen,
kind of unfair pairing.
listen, you throw Kill Bill in there, I might go with that one all day.
Right, definitely
I
a stronger argument.
do you know, actually, I haven't lined this up, but I sent this to Steph earlier in the week. They've released a trailer for the
Whole Bloody Affair?
Yeah.
Now, okay, I was telling you a little earlier how I've tried and been holding off on watching trailers or whatnot. That I did watch. I was like, I gotta see what this is talking
Oh, me
about.
too, yeah.
I'm extremely excited for
I'm
that.
going to watch. I'm going to watch that cinema.
Can't wait.
Have you guys ever heard of Topher Grace talk about his cut of like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
I really want to see that. Like I've been interested in different
He's not.
edits
He's not
lately
allowed to. Didn't he
to
release it? And he got
Leo.
in trouble or something.
But can't you do it as like a fan thing where you display you're not trying to make any money off of it or
I don't
profit?
know. I'm sure. I'm sure one day someone will get that out there. So,
I mean, I'm down. I'll
yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, have you got a good week?
Had a great week. Wonderful week.
Yeah, I give my same boat. I can't complain too much. Yeah, it was very laid back. I could prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. Played a lot of games.
Oh,
A lot of games.
that's always good.
Always good.
Well, we'll chat about that in a minute when we get into what we've been doing this week. But right, okay. Well, I think there's going to be a lot to cover, so let's just jump into it. And first of all, we'll start with the geek news, so to speak. So, geek news is stuff that's come out in the last 5 to 7 days that's happened, and sometimes we and Steph have been doing this now for like 6 or 7 episodes. We normally only have 1 or 2 things to shout out, but there's a few things that have come out. I'm going to start with a positive one that I had said to Steph that I'd heard a rumor of. Brian Michael Bendis is returning to Marvel with Avengers 800 coming out in January, and apparently a few other things are in the fire. But
I feel like that's fitting, like him returning to Avengers. In a way, it either been that or Ultimate Spider-Man related. But I'm curious to see what he actually takes or tackles coming back to Marvel. Like I don't know. I think the Avengers is just like you. I think you actually said it. It's like gonna be one of those anniversary issues with a bunch of creators. So is this just gonna be like a one-off story or whatever? But I'm curious. Maybe that's gonna lead into a new Avengers series with him and Bagley or someone. But I'm very curious to see what because it's like Bendis has done everything damn near at Marvel, so I'm interested to see if he tries something new or one of the minor things seldom things he hasn't tackled yet, or is it gonna be like going back to like Miles or the Avengers, one of his like mainstays? But I'm happy though.
I think the one thing he never did, and I can understand why he didn't, but he never covered Amazing Spider-Man, so I'd be quite hopeful for that.
I would not mind it, but I don't know, man. I almost feel a little redundant. Like I know Ultimate Spider-Man and Peter Parker is different. There's differences, but it's like he told 111 issues of that character, and then went to Miles for another couple of years. So it's like I don't know what other Spider-Man story he could. I mean, let's try it. Let's try it. But I don't know. I don't know if I would really be. That would sell. I think that actually would sell Bendis on Amazing Spider-Man, but I don't know if I personally would be like, yes. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say something about him jumping on Superman when he came to DC, but that's not even in that vein.
Yeah,
I think that was just...
We'll
to
be
a
here
lot
for
of
another
people.
20 minutes talking about that Superman run. So.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, has he? So he did Marvel before, because I don't really read comics. So he did Marvel Avengers before. So
Yeah.
would he do like stick with the same Avengers, or maybe like some new Avengers?
Well, yeah. So that's
Probably
actually he
new,
created the New Avengers.
Okay.
He was the one behind New Avengers. It's like almost 20 years ago. He put Jessica Jones on. Well, no, Jessica Jones is more background, but Luke Cage was at the front. Spider-Man, Wolverine, I think Iron Man, Captain America, and he sort of brought in a few. He kind of more made Avengers more of a street level team,
hmm
and it did really well. It was like became like one of Marvel's biggest titles. But Bendis was in Marvel for what 10, 15 years or something. He worked his way around pretty much every character, pretty much every book. X-Men, Daredevil. Daredevil was one of Devaughn. If you don't read comics and you're open to it, look up Bendis' Daredevil run. It's probably his best run at Marvel,
Okay.
I would say.
Spider-Man.
I
think he's
but
I don't know if Devaughn was asking about the title in general, New Avengers, or if it's going to be like a roster that's been used, or is he going to create like his own new lineup?
Yeah,
if he
like
comes back to
exactly.
Avengers?
Yeah, kind of what I was getting at. Like, is he going to create his new roster, like different
I think
heroes
that
that
would
have
be.
never been?
You know what? He has got a habit of trying to well, two examples, like he created a new character during his New Avengers run, the Ronin, the ninja dude that Hawkeye became,
Oh
and
yeah.
then Naomi was a character over at DC that he kind of tried to do the same thing, not to as much success, but I think he would create a new character or take a smaller character who's not really receiving a lot of, and put them on the team. You know,
he did that.
That's kind of Mark was, and then Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe a little
that's what
Kamala Khan.
I can definitely see that. Yo, I don't think Bendis wrote
her
her too much.
Little Miss
to be
Marvel.
honest. Oh,
yeah,
that could be interesting. Him writing a Kamala book.
I think that would be
like
that would be really well.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, I like that. I like that design. I like it. Where your head's at. Mark. I think Mark's frozen.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, you were frozen for a second. Okay.
Yeah. It just said my connection was lost. Apologies. Yeah. No. I think him writing Miss Marvel would be brilliant. I've tried reading the odd Miss Marvel issue, and it wasn't really for me. So. Anyway, right, we're gonna flick into another piece of news. Devaughn, you ready?
Just do it, Mark. Guys, no. So Apple came out with, or they talked about this new iPhone Pocket, and when I first heard it, I thought it was a smaller phone type deal, like like budget phone, great, awesome. No, it's this little sock thing holder for your phone. The smaller strap is like $150, and then the longer strap is like $250, which is crazy to me. To me, it's so tone deaf at where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like,
no, extremely.
I don't know. It was just one of those things where it set me off, and I just couldn't. I have an iPhone. Don't get me wrong. I like Apple products, but like that was like the most like tone deaf thing I've ever seen. Like who, and I know there's people that are gonna. I know people are gonna buy it. I know there is. There's those diehard Apple people that want this thing. Probably don't even want it, but they're like, oh well, that's cool. Like, the packaging will be nice. Apple always does nice packaging, all that stuff. But yeah, that was like one of those things where I was like, what are we?
They're one of the few brands that can get away with that though, like where they can just put out anything because it's them, and people are like, it's Apple, and
it's Apple. I guess I'll do it.
But why though? I don't see the it's just so loud and flashy.
Correct. And not just that, but you have pockets on your jeans. People carry purses, bags, like all that.
So is this like where's it go at? It reminds me of like a tie. Like if someone's like a stringer, I get that.
I saw like some of the pictures that they had, like people were carrying it almost like a purse, like had it on, and I'm like, just for your phone? Like, what if someone snatches that from you?
Yeah,
Now your phone's gone.
immediately.
I
Wow.
don't know. I don't know.
We'll see how this goes. That's an interesting
I will
choice.
be interested in seeing the sales numbers of this.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know who
I
this
think-
person is, but Issey Miyake, he's the designer of this. And like it comes in multiple colors, you know, yellow, orange, purple, pink, turquoise, blue, brown, black,
Pastel.
whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so over here in the UK, the short price is 140 quid, and the long price is 220 quid.
Wow.
And I woke up this morning, I opened up Instagram, and the first thing I saw was Devaughn story ranting about this, and I thought, what's he talking about? iPhone Pocket. And I googled it, thinking exactly like you, Devaughn, like this was going to be a budget iPhone, like a real pared down cheap.
Don't know,
Strip
Mark.
down. Oh yeah. All right, it's glad just not me. I agree with that. That's actually oh, you're back.
Yeah,
that's a good branding idea. I like your idea of iPhone Pocket being like a very basic iPhone.
Yeah. Okay, so going to head over to some gaming news. I know Devaughn wanted to chat about some stuff that's been going on this week.
Yeah.
We've got some trailers lined up in a minute for Fallout and for the new Mario film. So I'll wait till you've gone through. There's some news about some games you said on Steam you wanted to go through.
Yeah, so it's not even really games. It's just if you guys have heard of like the Steam Deck, it's like a portable gaming computer that you can take around with you. They just announced the Steam Machine, which is like a little tiny box PC. Where I mean you can play all games on Steam. It looks absolutely amazing. I think like for the gaming space, the budget wise for it, I don't see it being any more than like your run of the mill gaming PC, but just a little bit more than maybe the console, or like right on par with the consoles, probably like $500-$600, like the sweet spot. I know that's a lot of money, but like when you think of building a PC and all like everything that goes into it, such a cheaper option to get kids into gaming, to get people that maybe fell out of love with gaming or something like that. The Steam OS is great, and it's not even just a gaming thing. You can download your own operating system on there. You can download whatever you want on there to use as a computer, basically.
Question: If you bought games on PlayStation or Xbox, can you play them through that, or do you have to buy it?
I don't know. As far as I know, so far it's just Steam OS, but PlayStation has released a lot of games that are on Steam, and Xbox has released games that are popping up on Steam too. So it's almost kind of like them kind of killing the console wars at this point, because it's like, listen, we're going to release our own box. Here you go. Here it is. Have fun. They also announced a controller, a Steam controller, and Steam VR glasses, which are pretty sweet. It's like a headset, but the headset is your entire PC for like gaming VR games. And
it's almost like what Xbox originally set out to be, like that bridge between console and like the Steam machine. And like you said, when I saw the picture earlier, I didn't know that was I didn't click on it to read it, but I didn't know that was a real thing. Like it does, like kind of looks like a slimmed down version of the it looks doper of the Series X right now. But definitely reminiscent of that.
And I think it's going to do numbers. I really do, because there's a lot of people that are in the market for, gaming is one of those things that is ever growing, and it's ever slowing down too, because there's just so many politics within gaming, and the gaming space is great for like developers and stuff like that. Like a lot of funding gets cut, a lot of layoffs, things like that. I think this is going to open up that market just a little bit more for them. And hopefully it builds up on that. That's what I'm hoping.
I saw the joypad as well with the not like a D-pad, like a square, like can move your thumb around it.
Yeah. So like the Steam Deck itself, I have mine. I don't know where it is, but it's got trackpads on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you can use the trackpads, but the controller has the two trackpads on there, and it kind of it's kind of like mouse control basically. So you can use it as like a mouse control. It's very intuitive. Like
Nice.
the technology that Steam has, that Valve uses, is just incredible. It's gonna be really big for the game space, I think, and we'll see what the price is. They said that they're going to be releasing early 2026, so I'm assuming hopefully within the next couple of months we'll have some news. Just because 2026 is right around the corner.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we'll see. But like, it's going to
Man.
be anyone that buys that Steam machine, you're going to have a plethora of games to play because it's just Steam has. So I've got like 300 some odd games in my Steam library now, and I've probably beaten 2 of them. So like, yeah,
I hear they have the best. I know just the sales are crazy. You
the
know,
Steam
like
sales are insane. You will always find a game on sale.
yeah. I'm definitely that'll probably be my next. I'll be honest. Like I thought this generation of gaming was kind of a wash. Like we're 5 years in, and neither. I mean, Nintendo always does their own thing, but there's really nothing that stands out. Like I don't know. I think of previous generation. Maybe I'm just getting older, but I think of previous generations of gaming. Like 5 years in, with the 360, the PS3, the Xbox One, PS4, we had a lot of stuff to talk about. Like it's been very stagnant this generation, and to be honest, I have both PS5 and Series X, and I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking I'll always be a gamer, but I was like thinking about tapping out after this. Like they don't have anything exciting to offer next generation. I mean, in Steam Machine, that's a great answer response to that because, like you said, there's so many games on Steam. There's it's the whole console exclusive. That's like a thing of a bygone era that I think people are having a tough time letting go of. Like it's all about convenience now. Like no one exclusives do help, but I don't think they're gonna make or break a console like they used to. People don't want to buy a specific console to play a game. They want the easiest way to play their game. Steam Machine, man. I'm all about convenience, so I'm
And
excited
we're
for that.
and to jump off of that like exclusive era, like PlayStation exclusive, Xbox exclusive, we're slowly moving out of that as these games are coming to PC to a point where I think at some point, either within the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to have day and date on everything. Like,
Yeah.
hey, the new Halo is coming out on PlayStation, it's coming out on Xbox, it's coming out on PC. I mean, we're getting Halo campaign evolved on PlayStation. That's the first time
still
Master Chief
wild.
had a PlayStation logo near him besides like Fortnite.
25. Yeah,
That's Fortnite. We're moving into untapped territory right now. So we'll see. I'm excited. But
like
yeah, that's
20 years ago, that would have been black. Like, that'll never happen. Like, like that's never. Like even 10 years ago. Like, so yeah, it is unparalleled. It's new territory.
I mean, we got Forza, we got Gears, and now we're getting Halo. I mean, that's just like that's the trifecta of Xbox.
Yeah.
The thing is though, they make more money on the games than they do on the hardware. The hardware really is kind of like breaking even. They want to sell the software part, and in some ways, what they prefer is you buy it digitally rather than physically, because then they're selling the digital and the physical at the same price. So what's for you to go and buy digitally from them, they've saved that production and shipping and all the rest of it. Exactly. So the more they can push things like Steam and the PlayStation and Xbox digital only consoles, that's better for them. It's not good for you guys have got GameStop and we've got Game over here or HMV or anyone that's actually selling physical media. That they don't want that, but the consoles, the companies do.
They're gonna have to stop being so greedy as well. Like if Steam can give crazy sales on the same digital games that Xbox and PlayStation own, but then you got PlayStation and Xbox selling these digital games for physical store price. Like something that's gonna have to adjust if because like you said, if we're not gonna have the GameStop or whatever and be able to physically trade. Physical games will always be around, but probably not as heavy as they used to be. There's gonna have to be something that breaks that, and they're gonna have to come down on those digital prices because we're not getting the physical copy, we're not getting a booklet. There's no reason these digital games should cost $80, $70. Some of them they're trying to charge for that. I miss the good old. I remember thinking $50 was crazy. Like I mean, I was a kid. I'm like, I'm spending half of $100 on one game. How I miss those days. I would gladly go back.
I'm gonna say right now, I have done a lot of I call basically a lot of things when it comes to gaming. I've called the last 2 delays for GTA. I called the cancellation of The Last of Us multiplayer. I'm going to say it right now. GTA is going to be at least $100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Physically or digitally. It's going to hit that no matter what. You had Mario Kart World $80 for an
Still,
empty game.
yeah.
Completely empty.
That's crazy. You know what? This has really been on my mind lately. I was thinking about it yesterday really heavily for some reason. Like, I miss just being able to pop my game in the tray and play it. Like, no matter what. That's why I've really opted for physical, like specifically Last Generation, was because it's like, you know, good example. You went to a midnight release. The person who bought the game digitally would be playing it before the person who went and got it physically, because you had to go to the store, wait in line, drive home. They hit midnight. The person at home starts to, because as soon as you got home, you had to put it in the game, you know. So it was like, I don't know if there's a way around that, but I wish we could bypass that.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because there's some games that are on the Switch that are on the PlayStation, and the Switch they'll instantly play. Yeah, I know you can argue maybe the graphics isn't the same as the Switch on the Switch as it on other consoles. Maybe it's slightly lower grade graphics, but for instance, like I heard, for instance, the Harry Potter game is better on the PlayStation than the Switch, but people are able to put that cartridge in the Switch straight away and play it rather than the PlayStation. So
yeah, you gotta download it. Man, speaking of PlayStation, real quick, I've had this game for years, but I'm just really starting to get into it. It's this game called Dreams. Like a prayer own thing. It's pretty cool. It's got some really cool stuff on there. I was playing this thing called Ascent. It reminded me of Shadow of Colossus. It's not Shadow of Colossus, but Ico, more specifically. It's crazy how much creativity, you know, people have out there, and these are coming from players, not like some of them are game designers, I'm sure, developers, but a lot of stuff is just from like players out there who've taken the time to like put some stuff together. Like you got Sonic Adventures, Mario 64 stuff. It's really cool.
Dreams was big when it came out.
Have you played or heard of Dispatch, Devaughn?
I have heard of Dispatch. It is on my list to play. I have not watched anything on it. I do not want to be spoiled on it. A lot of my favorite podcasts I listen to gaming wise, they've talked about it, but I'm staying away because I want to be surprised. The only thing I know is the cast. It's got a great cast of voice actors. I'm excited when because I'm waiting. I'm pretty sure it's all out now, but I'm just gonna wait to buy it because I think it's like $30 and you get like all 6 episodes, and they're looking at renewing it for a season 2.
I hope so.
I can't wait.
No, yeah, I've been playing it these last couple. That's like game of the year. It's simple, but it's just so refreshing how they approach that type of game. Yeah, it's like game of the year material for me. Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
Before we move on, the Steambox, from what I can understand, is kind of like a plug and play, like HDMI straight into your TV, and it's got 2 terabytes of hard drive space, I think, or that's one of the options anyway. But yeah, the prices seem to be around $800 or something like that, so it's pretty pricey. Really? But
I mean,
people will pay it though, I reckon.
And there's rumors that the Xbox's next console, which is similar to a Steam machine, they're trying to bridge that gap as well. There are rumors that it's going to be like $1,200. So, you know,
that's crazy.
I bet even when you get PlayStation 6, it'll be similar. Because it's almost like they want to deliberately price it in line with each other. So, you know, like Samsung and iPhone are like £1,000+ phones now. So. Because you
we'll see what happens.
You don't want to be the cheap phone. It's kind of like almost like having a stigma attached to it. You know, you don't.
I mean, but that works sometimes. Like back, that was like a big thing for the Wii because the Wii was significantly cheaper than the not significant.
So many people.
Yeah, but
so many people bought a Wii.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, he disappeared.
You lost Stef.
He's back. Just briefly disappeared there.
Lost my connection. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No, I've dipped out twice. It could be. I don't know if you guys. We've got a storm here, so maybe that could be. Right. Okay. We're going to jump into some trailers, which are also gaming related. Here is your first one. Super Mario Galaxy.
Hey, big guy!
Oh,
You wanted to see us?
don't move, I'll be right up. Sipping the soup, cleaning the paint. Boodle-doo, boodle-doo, and also trim the bonsai bush. Here we go. Hey, Luigi. What's up, Mario? Behold, I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors!
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that?
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose. Anyway, I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
So sick, dude.
So they also released casting news that Brie Larson is Rosalina, and Benny, I don't know how you say it, Safdie, is going to be Bowser Jr.
Benny Safdie.
Yeah.
Safdie, yeah. Thoughts, guys, on the trailer?
I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Looks dope. Yeah, that was my first time seeing it. Like it looks amazing. Like the first one was a great movie. This one looks just as fun. The trailer, I don't know. The trailer that was a really good trailer. A lot of comedy to it. Like that Rosalina, Princess Rosalina moment was super dope. Like that, I wasn't expecting that. Like how she aced that mech. Looks great.
Just knowing that it is Brie Larson and she's playing another space character, like, it's awesome. It's great. I'm super excited. I played Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, so I'm a little shocked that we're getting Galaxy already. I thought we'd get like Super Mario World first. So like when they first announced Super Mario Galaxy, I was like, oh, well, that's shocking because we just had Super Mario, and I thought they would go to Worlds, but going to space, I'm cool with it. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. The first one did absolutely amazing. I mean, breaking box office records. And I think that this one is going to do even better. I mean, you're getting everyone hyped. They could announce a Super Mario Galaxy 3 game, and people are going to buy it. So I'm pumped.
I love that they pulled the name from one of the games as well. I thought that was cool. That was a nice touch.
I cannot wait.
I that's a good point though you brought up. I was a little thrown off by I was like, man, we're out of all titles like Galaxy, I don't know, but it still looks amazing.
I guess it's maybe where they were going storyline wise, and maybe they went with the storyline, and then they grabbed the title. I can't imagine they built it around the title, but
yeah.
I just hope we get another banger. Peaches is one of the best tracks of that year.
So good. It was so good.
Sometimes I just put that on. Yeah. I also I forgot he was tiny at the end. I'll have to rewatch it before I go and see it. But that was a highlight for me that year. So I'm looking forward.
Can't
to
believe it's been 2 years already. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
I still prefer the live action version.
I love the live action version. You know, it's got a great cast.
I love the Bob Hoskins though. Is great. One of my favorite scenes in that movie is when they're in the elevator with the Goombas, and
when they're in the elevator.
Yeah,
they're in the elevator. They just start rocking.
Yeah, start rocking. Anyway, right. The next one is Fallout Season 2. All right, let's go.
So I've seen a lot of things. Many a deer have to fall. Crazy things. Unnatural things. In the game. But good people? No. That girl I met. All in the wonderful game. I would be a good person too if I grew up in some cozy little impenetrable home. I have to steal and stab and fib all the goddamn time just to get by.
What exactly is it you plan on doing once we find your daddy?
Gonna bring him to justice. So people know that how they conduct themselves matters. And they don't give up hope.
The stuff we fight for, story has it you used to believe in those things too.
I've been wastelanding for 200 years. I've kept myself alive for one reason. To find my family.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming. Soon he'll be there at your side.
With a sweet bouquet. I understand we're discussing the Civil War. I must not have gotten my invitation.
We're actually beginning to get along.
Try again.
So this
Fucking
is
Deathclaw.
I'd ask why my dad ran into a den of monsters, but he'd probably just tell me to shut the fudge up.
Oh, December 17th, not far away. Actually, that's pretty damn on a month from now.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
I'm gonna put us back on. Yeah.
I never finished season 1, so now I have to. Okay.
Oh man,
season 1's so good.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
That was one of my. Yeah.
I gotta finish season 1. I'm guessing that the deep voice we heard is a super mutant. It's gotta be. There's no way it's not, right? It's gotta be a super mutant. I never played New Vegas. And I never played Fallout.
I haven't finished it. New Vegas.
I only played 4, and I loved 4. Like absolutely loved it. But I've heard great things about New Vegas. I heard it is absolutely amazing. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to watch season 1. I'm gonna have to finish it.
I've never played the games at all. I should like Stef of you.
Yeah, I actually played the first one I played was Fallout 2 before they had that jump to like first person style. Back on like it was like 2004 on my friend's PC. He was a PC gamer.
They were like RTSs, right?
Yeah. Like top down bird's eye view, almost like a GTA style. Yeah. It was Fallout 3 where they made that jump. I played the hell out of Fallout 3. Man, New Vegas I've had for years, and I've been playing this game for over 10 years now. I've never beaten it. It's like I'll come back to it, but I get sidetracked with so many games that unfortunately that's one that's gotten lost in the shuffle. 4 is falling under that umbrella as well. Like New Vegas and 4, I've put a good amount of time in, but I just haven't been able to finish them. My friend even got me Fallout 76, and I've not played that at all. I'm not really into MMOs like that, so I haven't touched that. But yeah, 3, that was my jam. I had all the DLC. I had found every location. I really loved the first season of the show, though. I think they really nailed the aesthetic and just if you didn't. I mean, it was more kind of like going off of 3, I guess, but you didn't need to. It wasn't based off one particular show. Like it was picking certain things from different games and it amalgamated it well. The show was a big surprise for 2023 for me, to be honest. Devaughn, I definitely recommend finishing that. You will have a
I was there for like the first episode and then I watched the second episode. I hate that I have to bring it all the way back to gaming, but I think it was such a huge miss for Bethesda to not re-release a remaster of one of the games. I mean, they did Oblivion remaster, which is Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. We don't have a show. Like, if you would have re-released like a New Vegas remaster or a Fallout 3 remaster, you would have made money like hand over fist. You would have made so much money. I'm excited. I can't wait. I mean, I know in Fallout 76 they threw in the Ghoul now. He's in the game with like the newer expansion,
nice.
I think that's coming out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I definitely want to, like, I have so many shows on my list, and like Fallout is on there. Twisted Metal finishing season 1 and season 2 are on there.
Same.
Yeah, I haven't watched either.
But there's a lot of shows, and I'm excited. I can't wait. That looks amazing. And Kumail, Macaulay Culkin,
Macaulay Culkin, bro.
That's
Goggins. The cast is amazing.
Yeah, they're knocking it out of the park. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, I do know. I saw Macaulay Culkin was in it, and I forgot that until we saw the trailer. So I'm pleased that he's getting a resurgence as an adult. I see him a lot on social media and places getting interviewed, but I haven't seen him do anything. So it's great to see him in something so different from the child roles that he previously was in.
Hey, what's the last movie you saw Macaulay in?
I don't know.
Home Alone.
Kid stuff.
Oh, well, okay.
Home Alone was like
Party Monster is an interesting one. That's I think that came out he hasn't done much. I feel like it's been mostly like TV, maybe like TV shows.
Yeah, maybe.
If anything.
I know his brother.
His
brother's been
Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran. Yeah, he's everywhere.
I just pulled it up. He's done a few like TV bits. He did that short Home but Not Alone.
That's right. Was like Funny or Die sequel. So.
I mean, he's done 2 episodes of something called The Second Best Hospital in the Galaxy. It was a voice word. There's a few, another voice thing for something called Intergalactic. He was in 6 episodes of American Horror Story in 2021.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. I stopped watching like 2020, 2019.
Never seen it.
He did 1 episode of Dollface. He basically just done little bits here and there. I assume he doesn't really need to financially work.
No, my man, not at all. He is set for life.
Residuals from Home Alone must set him up forever.
Not just that, but his wife gets. I mean, Brenda Song. I mean, she was Disney star. She gets paid.
It's a Sweet Life with Zach and Cody.
I don't know how residuals work. Do you get paid something like 2 months after something, or or just is it reoccurring? Because what I'm thinking is Home Alone must get played so much during December that maybe February's a really good month for him if it's like 2 months later.
I wouldn't even say December. I think like towards the end of November, like probably almost immediately after Thanksgiving, they're probably putting Christmas movies up, and Home Alone is just. There it is.
There
you go.
Home Alone's playing everywhere. Both. Well, I was gonna say all of them, but I only think of the first 2. The other ones.
Yeah. I never saw the third one. I didn't want to watch it, or the fourth one. I watched
There's only two.
the Disney one that they released recently, where his brother was in it as a cop. There was a brand new Home Alone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it like a Disney Plus?
What's his brother called? The one that's got the spider.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wasn't he in Back to the Future?
Oh, it's called. Right. It came out in 2021. It's called Home Sweet Home Alone. It was a Disney Plus movie. It was pretty much a bunch of unknowns, other than right here we go. That's it. Buzz McAllister. He is actually in it as himself as Buzz. Well, not as himself, as Buzz McAllister. So it's kind of a follow-on from the originals, but yeah. But he's a policeman in this. So yeah, it wasn't very good.
I believe it. I believe it.
I believe it.
I believe it also.
When I heard that Buzz was in it, though, I thought, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see. And I put myself through it, so you guys didn't have to.
I do want to say, I do want to answer in the chat. Yeah, so far what I've seen of Twisted Metal, pretty good. Very good. And I never played any of the games. I just...
wow.
Yeah, I never played any of the games, but from what I've seen, it's funny. It's just good. Anthony Mackie crushes it.
It's surprisingly a good balance. I got like 2 episodes season 1 to finish, but the humor threw me off at first. But towards the last few episodes I see, it was a good world they built. I actually kind of enjoyed the rapport between him and the girl and her ghost brother.
Yeah, I want to watch Twisted Metal. I played that loads. Me and my friends would just, I think it would just be brilliant, just hunting each other down in these crazy ass vehicles to just kick the crap out of each other. Yeah, and because it was split screen, you'd be trying to look on the other person's screen where they were. So it was before the day and age of being able to kick each other's asses in different homes. So you'd have to do it all in the same room, which actually was quite fun. There might be 5 or 6 of us lads all in this thing, and we've been playing it for hours, trying to hunt each other down and kick the crap out of each other in these.
Who was your favorite
ice
character?
cream vans or whatever? Hey, what was your?
Who was your favorite character or car?
I don't remember.
I liked Spectre, the blue and white Bond car with the machine guns on the front end. That or Axel was dope. Just Axel was visually super dope looking. Yeah,
the arms with
those were like my top.
I love things like being on the top of like a car park, like a multi-story, and like trying to push the car off the top of the roof. Oh, brilliant! So yeah, Twisted Metal was great. Do you know what was that thing? Road Rash. Do you remember Road Rash?
Yeah,
Am I just old now?
Is that the
motorbikes? And you'd have a chain, and you'd be trying to hit the other people as you're going along. Yeah, that was great. So, yeah, those type of games, really, those are kind of real boys' games. Like playing them and kind of kill your friends. Or anyway, right. That's we could. I saw a bunch of other things, but I'll kill the news there. And what we will do is we will move into what we've been doing this week. Now, there's 3 of us here. We could be here all day. So maybe shout out 1 or 2 things each. Devaughn, as it's the first time you've been on for a while, do you want to go first? Is there anything that you want to highlight or anything that you want to throw under the bus?
Not really. I mean, I've just been playing a lot of video games.
What have you been playing?
A lot of Battlefield 6, Borderlands 4. Some indie games too. There's a game that my girlfriend actually got me into. It's called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. It's like this small little top-down indie game. Right. It's a lot of fun. I would say that's like one of my favorites that I've.
Is that on Steam?
It is on Steam. Yeah, it's on Steam. It's on mobile. It's on Nintendo. I'm sure it's on probably PlayStation and Xbox as well. But it's like a small little indie game. It's like I think $14.99 or something like that.
That's not too bad.
But that's about it. That's all I've been doing. I'm in a reading slump right now. I haven't really been reading much, so
Is this year not going to be like last year's 75
it's not
books?
gonna
Or...
it's not gonna be like last year. Last year I ruined it. Should have paced myself, but that's okay.
You read like 5 years of books in 1 year. So,
literally.
You did really well though last year with the book reading.
Yes, I did. Crushed it.
Oh, no worries. No, it's good. No, when I say what we've been doing this week, it can include music, theatre, TV, gaming, whatever. Just pop culture related. What we've been up to. So yeah, cool. Good to hear about the master gamer.
That's me.
Steph, anything you want to shout out this week?
No, I've been doing showing more love to my PlayStation this week. I had it for like 2.5 years now, and I've really been neglecting it. Like, I was a running joke where I just said it's my kid's PlayStation, and it was for a minute, but I'm trying to reclaim it. I've just been playing some games on it, like Shadows, Assassin's Creed, Dreams, Dispatch. This game called I've had these games for like 7-8 years now, and I unfortunately have not completed a lot of them, like Dusk Divers, this cool little beat 'em up. But yeah, I just been trying to show more love to my PlayStation, man. I've really been neglecting it, so I've been doing that.
Heck yeah.
You watched it. Oh, I know you were on Verno's show chatting about Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Cover that with him over on Blood Splatter Chatter, and we
no spoilers.
All I was going to ask is,
cool.
Just an overall, did you enjoy it or?
No, yeah, I thought it was amazing. It's gonna be probably the definitive Frankenstein movie for years to come. The Lord of the Rings Fellowship over the extended cut over at Robbie's Pop Culture Philosophers Monday. We're watching a lot of long films this week, but they warranted the runtime. They were worth it. I wish we could kind of get back to that as a whole in terms of filmmaking.
Nice. I watched a mini series with my wife and my daughter called All Her Fault. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it. It dropped all in one go, but we've watched it throughout the week. I did want to shout out something gaming related though, which I'm quite pleased about. Not for myself, but my 15-year-old really randomly decided, the Tomb Raider, the rebooted miniseries. For some reason, she decided a couple of weeks back to play the last one, the third one, and complete the whole thing. And she goes, I wish I hadn't have done this now. So at the moment, and she stopped about half an hour ago, but she's been playing the first one, and she keeps going, the first one's really brutal. It's much harder than the last one. And I remember thinking the same thing, to be honest. The first one was a real trial by fire, because it was like Lara Croft lands on that island and really does have to go through hell to become the Tomb Raider.
Yep.
But it's pretty cool that my 15-year-old's actually playing video games.
So you played the newer Tomb Raiders?
I played all 3 of them, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm kind of shocked. That's cool. Yeah, Shadows. So she started off with Shadow, and then
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I completed Shadow this year. I completed it a couple of months ago, and she saw me playing it, and she just said the other day, actually, I'm gonna put it on and play it, and I didn't think too much of it, and she completed it.
Wow.
And now she decided to go back to the beginning, and she said I should have started here. So
yeah. Nice.
I want to shout out. I have done a couple of movies. Do you know what? Last week I went through. I'd watched something like 7 or 8 movies. Do you remember that last week? And do you remember, Steph? And you were like, "How you've watched the whole of Revival and like 7 movies?"
Oh yeah.
I have done something fairly similar again this week. So I watched Predator, the new one.
It was so good, dude. It was so good.
Oh, it's brilliant. I loved it. I went with my mate to watch it. We did a double bill last Sunday. We went and watched Predator Badlands. That finished, had a 10-minute gap, and we went straight into Bargonia. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That if I haven't finalized the top 10 of the year yet, but Bargonia is definitely in that top 10. Such a good movie.
Oh, that's the one with Emma Stone, right?
Yeah, definitely. So this is the premise, and you know this before you go in. It's in the trailers. These 2 guys, is it Jesse something?
Eisenberg.
No,
Evil Matt Damon. He's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, he's the guy married to Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, he was in Breaking Bad. He's the one who has Aaron Paul's character. He's kind of like his little guard.
Oh, Plemons.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So him and his cousin kidnap Emma Stone, and this is the whole premise. They believe that there's an alien invasion of Earth, and they kidnap Emma Stone, believing that she's a secret alien that's infiltrated Earth, and they want her to confess and lead them to their species. It's sort of comedy drama until it kind of isn't, and I won't say any more. It's not for kids in any capacity. I know they sort of describe it as a comedy drama, but there's a couple of quite brutal scenes in it, to be honest. So,
wonderful.
But I walked out of there, and my mate, as he was walking out with me, he was just really quiet, and I was like, "You're right." And he went, "That's like a lot to take in that film." So I won't ruin it, but yeah, just it shocked me because I didn't know anything about it until about 2 or 3 weeks before it came out, and I've talked more about Bargonia this week than Predator. Predator was amazing. It was so good. We watched it in 3D, and yeah, it was really good. But there's another film I was talking about as well called Good One, which is an indie American film. Really quiet movie and very much real life. I don't want to say too much, but something is said to one of the characters 20 minutes before it ends, which completely shifts the whole tone of the film from being, it's light-hearted until like the last 20 minutes. And I love what I've noticed about a lot of these independent movies, there's a lot that isn't said in these films, and you're left to kind of, I've watched a few indie movies this year, which is not like me. I've kind of taken on your book challenge, and I've been going for quite a few movies recently.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that these independent movies very much let the audience figure things out a lot more from what I've seen, which I like. I'm up for the challenge. I think it's great when a movie finishes and you're talking about it and trying to work it all out, like the characters' motivations and things like that. So, but yeah, anyway, look, if I recommend anything, people go and watch Bargonia. So good.
Okay.
Right, we will wrap up what we've been doing this week and jump into our main event.
The main event.
Now, I know one of the panel has this particular first appearance issue, don't you, Stef?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the comic itself. I was like, yeah, I think there are some the Marvel zombies in one of those panels. But yeah, I forgot to grab them. But I have.
No, it's fine. So
the whole series.
The first appearance of Marvel Zombies was originally in Ultimate Fantastic Four issues 21, 22, and 23 by Mark Miller and Greg Land, which I thought was interesting, though. That had a spin-off called Marvel Zombies, came out a year later, written by the one and only Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead. How weird is that?
That is kind of crazy.
And before we go any further, we will be talking about the show. It came out a few months ago, so if you've not watched it yet, that's your fault. Right.
I watched it all today, baby.
I watched it all yesterday.
It's so good. Let's go. Woo.
Okay, so it's a big cast here. Steph, do you want to shout it out?
Yeah, we got Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan as Marvel, Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, Ironheart, Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, Black Widow, David Harbour as Alexei Shostakov, Red Guardian, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, Aquafina, her name always trips me out, Katie Chen, Randall Park as Jimmy Woo, Wyatt Wessel as John Walker, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, the zombie ready queen, Paul Rudd, Scott Lang. Oh wow, that's Paul Rudd. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
And the voice, I didn't peep that. As Ant-Man, Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, Carrie Condon as Friday, the AI, Hudson Thames as Peter Parker Spider-Man. And I cannot see the last half.
But Blade is also in it. That was what's Blade.
The Blade, the Moon Blade Knight, whoever did that voice.
Was it Mahershala Ali?
I don't think it was, but he sounds
okay.
just like him,
Sounded
man.
just like him. I thought it was
yes.
Okay, so I just grabbed some stats of this. So this was billed as a mini-series event, which I thought was interesting considering the ending, which we'll talk about. It's 4 episodes in total, split into half an hour per episode, which I think is a tactical move because this feels like a movie. But I don't know if you know this, that Marvel have the ability to use Spider-Man in cartoons if they're less than 30 minutes. However, they can't use him in movies because Sony, well, without Sony's permission, which they do obviously tend to, and they have to give Sony cash. But Marvel will always retain the animated rights or stuff below 30 minutes. So that's hence why we've got several. Well, that's why they're still able to make animated stuff with Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And that's why I feel they went with the 4 episodes rather than a movie. It's right. You guys call it TVMA. We don't have such things as that over here in the UK, but essentially mature audience. I didn't realize that it was a direct spin-off from What If. I knew that What If did cover Marvel Zombies, but I didn't realize it was a follow-on. So, and that this is set 5 years after What If. And I thought this was cool as well. Part of the creative team was Zeb Wells. I don't really recognize comic books, but he was involved in this. Maybe he should do more TV because he's not very good at comics.
He's not a bad writer. He's gotten a bad rep because of Spider-Man. And let's be honest, books of those magnitude, like Batman,
I'm not
like,
enjoying his X-Men run either, though.
Has he been doing which X-Men run?
Oh, I can't remember. Is it the main? I think it's the main X-Men.
I think you're confusing him with Jed McKay.
Am I? Oh, am I? Yeah, sorry. Maybe you're right.
No, I was just gonna, but you know. It says Deadpool and Wolverine. Is that the movie or is it a comic book run?
He co-wrote the script for the movie.
You are right. You are right. I did confuse him with Jed McKay. Jed McKay is also terrible.
Zeb Wells isn't terrible though. That's what I was gonna say. Like let's be honest. If you're writing I've seen people. I haven't finished. Mark, hopefully he's not gone. I've seen people talk about Chip Zdarsky's Batman run. To a lesser degree, but I feel like that is so editorially mandated at this point. Like Batman, Spider-Man, when these writers come on, if you're not like a Bendis, you're not writing your story. You're writing what editorial wants you to write. So it's like any faults of his Spider-Man run, I throw to editorial because editorial has been fucking up a lot. They always do, but they've been doing more so the last couple of years. There's so many examples where he did this great. It came out like 20 years ago. This New Warriors miniseries with Scotty Young on art. That he's a very quippy, gifted writer. Like if you've only read Spider-Man, don't let that be an indicator of what he's capable of as a writer. Like,
but I did think this was cool though that they've actually pulled someone from the comic book world across to be one of the creative of the miniseries.
I think he's worked in he's that's his balance. Like he did it a lot for Robot Chicken back in the day. Like he's good friends with like Seth Green and stuff. So he understands the comedy world.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So this brought up as well. The main cast I thought was an interesting choice considering where we've been recently with Marvel in terms of the MCU. The main cast was revolving around Miss Marvel, Riri Williams, who had her own live action show earlier this year as Ironheart, Kate Bishop, who we know as the younger Hawkeye. And then we have a lot of the Thunderbolts characters as well. And they pulled a lot of what I would consider more of the newer generation in terms of the cast, which was great, other than Wanda. And but even Namor was in it, who's only come in about 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll move on from that. I will bring us back onto the main screen. It's you know what? Yeah, sorry. I know I just made some jokes. I know not everyone may agree with me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really loving Jed McKay's X-Men, so apologies. Right, okay.
No, I haven't read too much. I'll have to check it out more. I wasn't too keen on when I started, but I actually think Zeb Wells probably would do better on give Zeb Wells an X-Men book. He did Hellions during the Krakoan area, and that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Or
so just go around
Sorry.
So just go around the room. I guess just initial overall thoughts of the miniseries. Devaughn, I'll tell you what, do you want to go first? As you watched it
Sure.
today?
Yeah. So I watched it today. I saw the original What If episode. And when that ended, I remember, I mean, years, it's been years, right? So when that ended, I was like, oh, that was cool. I kind of want more of that. I thought that the animation was absolutely amazing. I found myself really in tune with my emotions at some points. There's some emotional story beats here that really hit. I thought the action was great. I'm very upset that we couldn't get this like as a live action thing. And by that I mean I want all these heroes on the same screen together, not with zombies. Like let it be them fighting some entity, whether it be Doctor Doom, whether it be Kang, whether it be Thanos. Like Marvel has done. I've said this since the end of the Infinity Stone saga. We'll never get that high ever again. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. Not just because of the characters, but just because of the multitude of those movies of what we led up to getting to that point. It was such a big, huge emotional like buy-in, and once we got to that end, it was great. In this whole coming from where we left off with Infinity Saga to where we are now, you've had Chadwick Boseman pass. That was such an unprecedented thing that happened to Marvel that obviously he didn't need to tell them that. Like that's his personal thing. Like they didn't need to know that or anything like that. But I think they were banking on him being the new Tony Stark, even like that. Him and his sister being the new duo, doing the technology, him being the face of of the Avengers and all that, and that falling off. I think this is such a good return to form. Like I felt like Endgame towards the end of this. I was like so invested. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I think the 4-part series, I wanted a movie, and obviously they can't because Spider-Man, all that good fun stuff. That's great. But like if they would have done a movie, or if they kept going animated like this, I thought they did it so well. The action was great, the pacing was amazing, the story held up, and I'm sure we'll get into how it ended after. But yeah, I loved it. I want more of this from them.
What about you, Stef?
Yeah, I seen this. Well, I rewatched it, but I seen this one a couple months ago when it came out, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I love how they focused on kind of like small, less side characters almost. It gave them a chance to shine. Like Death Dealer was really cool, even though he didn't have a line. Jimmy Woo, their little relationship. It was, and then at the same time, like they're not all smaller characters. Like the whole Riri, Kate, Kamala thing. I think is them. They're characters that have been introduced in the live action properties, and I think they have plans for these specific 3. So it's a good way of like ingraining them into something. And so if they pop up a few years from now, they've got a larger role. If someone's seen this Marvel Zombies, they're like, oh, I know that it won't be like they're a new younger hero. They're not capable. I mean, that's not always the case, but it's like if they've seen Marvel Zombies, they're like, oh no, I know they're a capable character under stress and pressure. I've seen them pop off in Marvel Zombies. Like, very, very. I am a little torn on it though. I think while I do appreciate them focusing on smaller characters and giving them a chance to shine within the MCU, I think that is a hindrance at the same time. Like everything is a focal point of the MCU. Like you can kind of put yourself in a rut of being creatively stagnant. Because they can only use so many characters for this Marvel zombie tale because they're doing it within the realm of the MCU. There's only so many heroes they can play with and stuff like that. So I wish that was a big problem of mine with like the What If series, because it was like, there was one episode in particular that I was like, who it was like, what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? And I was like, who asked for that? No one's ever asked this question ever, you know, like, but there's only so many stories they can tell within the framework of the MCU. I wish they would kind of get out of that just a little bit. It was a cool story for what it was, but it did kind of remind me of like, man, you guys are, you limit yourself so much by only telling stuff from the MCU. Like DC doesn't do this. DC, you know, they'll tell their own story in animation, video games, comic books. They let something breathe. Like MCU and Marvel's they need to iron that out, you know, like, because I don't know, because these are different universes. So it's like, if stuff was like, if you did an episode based off that was a straight up comic book adaptation of the Marvel Universe comic world, it wouldn't be jarring because it's the multiverse. There's supposed to be differences. When you're telling stories in the multiverse, but everything is super similar to stuff we've already seen, it doesn't resonate as much. That's just their animation nitpick at large. But this project in particular, I thought was very well done. Like Devaughn said it, I think it was a return to form of them trying to tell it, like, what's the word? I guess epic stories, you know, like this. There was a nice little thread that led to something like this monumental battle towards the end. I'm very curious. That you said they labeled this as a mini series. I think we're going to be getting a part 2 of this.
They build it as a mini series. If you look it up, it's billed as a mini series. But
yeah,
I think I looked it
like
up after I finished it. Yeah, like Dexter. Yeah, was it New Blood or something? It was a miniseries. I looked it up straight away, and it said it was billed as a miniseries, but depending upon the popularity of it, they do have a season 2 in mind. However, the focus might potentially shift to Winter Soldier if they do a second season.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, I watched this, yesterday. I hadn't seen it before, unlike yourself, Steph, who'd seen it, and I didn't remember. I remembered the What If episode, but it's been so long that I've forgotten it, and I didn't realize there was a connection, so I didn't have time to rewatch that before I did this. But regardless of that, this miniseries stands on its own, or potentially season 1 stands on its own. You don't need to have gone and watched the miniseries at all. It's not essential watching. I watched that first episode, and I was actually, I'm going to be honest with you, I was completely blown away. But just the animation on its own, I was blown away from several things. The animation, that Marvel, I felt, were getting brave now, because, you know, the House of Mouse owns them, and they very much do try to keep it family friendly. Now, this isn't horrific. You know, you could probably let 12-year-olds watch this. But I felt that the whole zombie thing was very brave for Marvel to get involved in.
Edgy for the
Yeah, definitely. This felt like something DC might do, not necessarily Marvel. I enjoyed that actually we pulled in characters that haven't been given that much screen time up until recently because they're new, not for any other issues.
Right.
For me, I love that first episode that it was the 3 kind of young Avengers that they were the core team. And I thought that's where this would go, following them. But Marvel as well, pretty brave in killing off like two of their 3, the sort of the trio quite quickly, and then we just follow Miss Marvel, and then as she goes along. I know it's an alternate world, so it's quite easy to kill people off.
This are 2 of them. Well, one for sure died. The second one up in the air.
Oh, you mean yeah.
We're talking about Riri.
Yeah, Riri. Yeah.
True.
That's true. Yeah, sorry.
Because you heard her voice at the end, you know, and then we didn't see.
Yeah, not just that, but I'm a very big proponent on, like, if you don't die on screen, they're not actually dead. So that's my big.
If it's off panel.
That's why Mace Windu is still alive, baby. I'm pulling for it. Anyways, keep going.
And they've done a story where it shows someone, like, he got hit with the Force lightning. Like, they did a story that showed a regular dude get hit with the Force lightning, and it does corrupt you. And it took a while to corrupt this dude. Mace Windu is a master level Jedi. He could definitely, like, prolong the effects of something like that, like have him come back all scarred or some shit, kind of like a little more
just saying
darker, you know, like, yeah, we need a Mace Windu project, bro.
Just saying.
He would definitely do it. Samuel Jackson would be hands down. He'd be there. He'd be writing it. He'd be filming it.
Man, we need that Disney.
I love
Star
Samuel
Wars.
Jackson's approach to TV though. That he goes, I do movies that I would like to sit and watch. He's like,
Right.
I do. He even said it. I do popcorn movies. I've seen him be interviewed. So,
Yep.
yeah, he just wants.
He's
to
got very like real quick, just a very unique, interesting career. Like he was like, it's especially when he kind of became a name. He was like an older man, which Hollywood is got like ageism aspects to it. They're slowly breaking away from that, but you think of like Coming to America when he's playing the dude robbing the McDowells. And he was already an older dude at that time, like well into his 40s, I believe.
Yeah.
And for him to have had such a prolific career,
100%.
popping off at 40 plus, it's crazy. Not many people hold that claim. Like his box office revenue, all the movies he's been in, like he still has like some of the top box office revenue as an actor when it comes to like their pool.
Yep.
It's a shame actually to bring this back to Marvel Zombies that we didn't have a Nick Fury at least pop up along the way.
So my question is because I was confused while watching it also. So this is set obviously in the Marvel universe, but it's I'm guessing before like all their movies, like their own spin-off shows.
Well, I assume it's meant to be following Endgame because of the whole Thanos element.
Is it though?
So it's set in an alternate world. Because they showed Thanos with his.
Well, up until Infinity War, because he comes down. Thanos comes down.
Well,
when he's a
yeah,
zombie
I think it feels to me like it follows Infinity War, not Endgame, and because Thanos was a zombie, and then.
But that is a good question because some of these like Riri and like Kamala,
Shang-Chi,
and Kate,
yeah,
they all their stories all take place specifically after Endgame,
right.
and
it's the same with Shang-Chi. Like his dad was there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I was confused. I was like, and I didn't think about it until after I was done with it. I was like, wait a minute. When does this take place, or is it an alternate?
It's a mix.
timeline?
Yeah, you got to mix and match at that point because that is a valid question though. That's what I'm saying. Like they're in it because of they're so limited with the stories they can tell. You run into contradictions like that where it's like, okay, so where do these how do they get their origin? If a lot of this kind of stems from Endgame, but Endgame never happened, how does that's a good question.
Miss Marvel would have known who Captain Marvel was as a zombie because, I don't know.
Also, how did Kate Bishop become Hawkeye when she didn't become Hawkeye until like another 4 or 5 years after Endgame? So, and also Riri Williams, she becomes Ironheart even further along the line. So it's like a blend of timelines are thrown in together. Really, I guess it's like what's that film, Stef? Us. The more you deeply think about it, the more you start to unpick all the plot point problems with this. So I think that's worth shouting out there. Actually, don't think about this miniseries too deeply. Try and enjoy it.
I didn't think that's a great question. I didn't think about that until Devaughn brought it up, but that's a valid point. Like, man,
I was thinking about it all day today. It's all I could think.
And for the Us thing, that's something that because that was something if I had recognized it, that was something that would eat me up too. Like, bro, I need to answer this because that's how Us was for the first time I saw it. I was like, bro, no, I need answers as to who's running all these clones by themselves. Well, another story for another day. But now my mind needs answers. Like, how did Riri, Kate, Kamala in particular, really? Find each other.
They showed Shang-Chi getting his origin in the second episode that his dad shows up to help him. He gives him the ring. So his origin has now changed. Basically, the whole movie, his whole Shang-Chi movie is gone now. His dad shows up because the zombies are coming in.
And gave him the ring.
And he sees his son get bitten and he sacrifices himself to save his son. So that skips out the whole Shang-Chi movie. It's gone.
Correct.
And you basically
I wanted something like that for the three girls though. There are three ladies that because that's really I think even those three are more deeply tied to like happening after, and because even Shang-Chi No, it just took place in the same location as Ant-Man 2. But I don't know. There's something about that's hanging over my head now that I'm sitting here and like, how did they come together? That's gonna bug me.
Stef, actually, I had a question for you. You read the original Ultimate Fantastic Four where they showed up, and I assume you've read Marvel Zombies, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how is it then that with the zombies that Hawkeye still has his skills as an archer, and how I sort of can get round like Wanda because she was so powerful as a human that power has seeped through into her being a zombie, and kind of get around that. But is there any explanation in the comics as to how some of the human skills have stayed in? Like even like Captain America hiding behind the shield and using the shield is still elements of their humanity have stayed. Yeah, so go on.
So in the comics they weren't zombie. Like they were zombies, but they still retained their personality. Like they were still conscious and still had the Wolverine still talked his shit. Hawkeye, they could still convert. They weren't like and that's the difference between the MCU, Marvel zombies, and the comics. They were intelligent. Like the Reed Richards is the reason the whole Marvel.
No, you were getting it. No.
Are we back?
I'll never know again.
Are we back? Okay.
Yeah.
But no, Reed Richards, he's the reason. He created this interdimensional teleport thing where he was going to traverse to different universes and just feed on everybody, because they had ate everybody in their world. So like, we'll just go to different universes that the multiverse has plenty of worlds for us to eat. So they were intelligent, even though they were zombies. In the MCU, this one, it was weird because it's like Wanda would give certain zombies their intelligence, like when didn't Hawkeye become a scion or whatever? Yeah. And he got the red eyes, and he I don't know if he talked, but he became a little bit more intelligent. That's a good question though. I was very confused, like with the whole Cap stuff and the Hawkeye, like. They're dumb because they're zombies, but they're not that dumb where they still possess
So do you think Wanda allowed certain zombies then to retain some of their human skill set then? Do you think that's where that came from? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm almost looking at like a Evil Dead type of thing. Army of Darkness, like the Demon Knights, like she's controlling them. They're under a spell essentially. Like maybe they're not even really thinking, but she can just, it's like they're enhanced by magic. So it's like they're still a little durable. They possess certain skill sets, or I don't know. It's after the whole Riri origin stuff and Kamala stuff, there's so many questions that for this that I would like Aaron said. I don't know. They never really got into, I mean, I just assume that it's because of Wanda sorcery that's certain.
I think that's zombies. What it is. Yeah. Because like she allowed like Wasp and Ant-Man to be able to like go big or small and stuff like that. And I mean, she only let Okoye be the only one to talk, which was
that's
strange,
what
was Thor talking when he was no
Thor wasn't. So I just thought wanted to reference the style and the structure of this miniseries. Deliberate choice by Marvel to not have it as a movie, so that way they can incorporate Spider-Man. That's my belief, anyway. But I love that also each episode feels like a chapter, and it pivots in terms of the location, and sometimes even pivots around who's kind of leading that episode. Whilst Miss Marvel is the central character from the very start to the very end, because the final scene is around her. I just wondered what you guys also thought about how it shifts. Because to me, I like the fact that we get a journey through the MCU. We get to go in the ocean. We get to visit Namor. We get to go to the new Asgard.
See the Skrulls.
We even get to go into space, and then they get to come back to Earth and suddenly meet Spider-Man. Oh, and also I thought that was amazing. The Spider-Man and Miss Marvel's first meeting is in this, and she's just completely blowing up and fangirling all over Spider-Man and. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking about the characters now, but just what do you guys think about how they broke it up into 4 episodes and they had like essentially different locations and kind of almost like I say, like chapters.
I thought they did a really good job. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I thought that was cool how they, like you said, Kamala was the central focus character, but they did like the Yelena bit. That I think it was like was that the second episode where she wasn't really the focus until like I'd say like 20-30 minutes in. I think it was about 40 minutes long, but the whole bit where she like sacrifices herself at the end, there, even though certain characters weren't in it for very long, when they went out, they were still memorable. Even like Jimmy Woo, when he goes out at the very end, there, he went out in such a terrible way, but it's still memorable. Even with their some characters got more screen time than others, but they still made, like, Yelena, she's already been established with the movies, but even within the context of the show, the series, I think they, within 2 episodes, she still had a nice little arc where it's like, even though she wasn't in for like the last 2 episodes, she was still a memorable character for what she did in the first half. Yeah, they broke it up well, and we got to see different sides of the MCU universe. I thought the whole Skrulls, Mad Max stuff was really cool. The whole them singing, what was it, Journey? Were they singing?
Yeah, they were singing Journey.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought they crushed it. Oh, I think we lost Mark. No.
Is he back?
Okay.
He's back.
It must be like storm weather or something. No, look, I love the tone of it. Visually, this is beautiful. I thought the animation was really beautiful. I like the voice acting as well. I know these are people that actually are live action actors, but it sounds weird to say, but it felt real while I was watching it. And when you linked it, Devaughn, earlier to Endgame, this did feel like the first thing since Endgame that I've loved other things, but because I don't want to say that everything that's come out since Endgame has been terrible. It hasn't. There's been some good things, but this I was fully invested, and I loved how the characters went along the way and met each other in different locations, and that gave me that whole Endgame feel. But I just love the whole tone of it. That Marvel didn't pull punches in ripping people's body parts, and pulling hearts or cutting them in half, and just all that stuff. I thought it was great. I thought Marvel, well done to you for actually maybe aiming this at slightly a mature audience, considering this is on Disney Plus when they're not gatekeeping it or anything like that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But
yeah.
So you had something?
Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they did a really good job structure-wise. I felt like every episode had its like they had like their boss fight almost in every episode. They hit you with the emotion, Yelena and Alexei, that relationship. We've known that relationship for a long time. Like it's father-daughter, all that. Like you said, bringing in more characters that we don't really get a look at. I mean, we've had a Moon Knight show, but we haven't gotten Blade.
Yeah,
right? We know Wesley Snipes' Blade. We haven't gotten Mahershala Ali's Blade. I don't think we ever will. But having him here, like his looks, but having Khonshu through him, Blade Knight was so cool.
Dope as hell, yeah.
That was awesome. Having him fight Ghost was incredible. I thought that was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, the animation is just like top tier animation right now.
Very crisp, yeah.
Like they could do so much with this style of animation, it would be crazy. But I liked how Miss Marvel was like this central character here. Like she was the one bringing all this together. She could bring it all together. She could tear it all apart. She's the end all be all here. And they all realize that as they keep going on. Each character, like Thor had lost the will to fight, right? But she was the one that brought it back. Alexei had lost the will to fight. She was the one that said, hey, we got to keep going. She is, I know she had her own show, correct? She had her own show, Ms. Marvel. And then she was tied in the movies with Captain Marvel and Photon and all that. But I think this was like a bigger story for her than the rest of it. And I've never even seen the movie or her own show, but I think like them bringing her here was great. I would have liked to see what I was really hoping towards the end was a little bit of X-Men peek through. You know, I was hoping to see some Wolverine claws. I was hoping, but I know they probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they're biding their time.
Oh, yeah, the one Steph, you said earlier, which is something that's kind of irritated me about Miss Marvel. I think, by the way, the actress is a great. I think I love the fact that she's so excited about Miss Marvel.
She's a true fan.
She's a true fan of the character. She's even written some comics that she's done the same as the lady who plays Dreamweaver, DC. You know, the actress who was in the Supergirl series who did Dream, whatever her name is, and then she's written some of the comics, and so anyway, the actress who's played Miss Marvel has also done the same, written some comics of Miss Marvel as well. But the one thing that's really annoyed me about Disney is that they've said it themselves, they play around with what they've already established. So Miss Marvel is a mutant and was an Inhuman in the comics, then becomes a mutant, and her powers are linked to that. But because they haven't introduced mutants in the comics, in the MCU, that's why they created these bangles and gave her all these weird light energy powers. So I don't see why, even in her miniseries, why we couldn't have just made her a mutant. Just don't call her a mutant. Just give her her own powers. Because it's also now going to be weird.
That would have caused and even though they heavily insinuated, they didn't outright state it in her show, but I think if they would have outright stated it in the show, they would have caused an uproar with a lot of fans. Like, Kamala Khan is the first MC mutant you introduced in the MCU when you guys just retconned it it wouldn't have sat well. It wouldn't have, if you're gonna, they made the excuse of not wanting to do a live action Miles movie because they want to honor Peter Parker first. They want to keep that in theme. You got to honor. So you can't have Kamala be the first mutant on screen. I don't think that would have sat well with quite a few people.
In her final episode, they did say something about a mutant gene. That's the only little thing.
They played like the X-Men. Yeah, it was insinuated, but it wasn't outright.
Yeah,
that's how they get away with it.
So the dynamics of the characters. I actually, that was one of my favorite parts about this was the dynamics that we had, and I thought it was great. I'm going to be honest. I want to shout out here, Blade. That guy is Wesley Snipes. I don't care what anyone says. That he was made to look like Wesley Snipes. I even had to look it up to check if it was his voice, but it wasn't.
Oh, Mahershala Ali.
No, it wasn't him either.
No, but you said Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, no, don't you think he looks like Wesley Snipes?
I thought he looked more like Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Who they want? Who's set to play the new Blade?
Yeah, he was based off the actor Mahershala.
Let's come back again. Sorry, dipped out again. No, I thought he looked like Wesley Snipes in the cartoon.
You gotta. Have you seen the actor? Mahershala? Yeah. Look him up real quick.
Do you think he looks more like him? I felt he looked more like Wesley Snipes.
No.
I think you might have wanted him to look like
maybe. Okay, all right. Okay.
I mean, I want Wesley Snipes back too, dude. But I just think
maybe you're right. Maybe that's.
Yeah. You might have seen Deadpool and Wolverine, and you're like, Wesley Snipes. There's only ever going to be one Blade,
Okay, maybe there's some bias in there. Yeah, okay, maybe there's some bias in there. Okay. You probably a fair shout there, Steph. I think there was some bias when I went in. I wanted it to be Wesley Snipes. That's true. So in my mind, I saw Wesley Snipes.
That's okay. I get it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he doesn't look as much like Wesley Snipes now. You've called it out, but for me, Wesley Snipes. There's only ever been one Blade, so except for Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers. Well, Sticky Fingers was that TV series of Sticky Fingers. It was actually all right, but.
Just it shouldn't have never been on Spike TV. That's where they messed up, and that was you're asking that show to not go past one season.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, maybe you're right, Steph, but for me, I felt it looked like Wesley Snipes. Okay, look, guys, is there any? I know we've shouted out Kamala Khan a lot, but is there any other characters that you want to shout out? Anyone that's maybe considered a favorite or anything like that? Stef,
I
you
mean,
wanna
I
do it?
think the fan favorite's definitely Blade Knight, Moonblade, whatever his name is. But you know, I did think, even though he didn't have any lines, I just thought like the idea of them using Death Dealer as like comedic relief, because it's, you know, Death Dealer was oddly enough one of my favorite characters, even though he didn't have a goddamn line or a character arc. It's just the moments they used him for, I think worked very well.
I think something that they didn't explore that I wanted them to was the Shang-Chi and Yelena story there, because you know you could tell she was interested with him. So like I wanted more of that. Baron Zemo was great, and then you had John Walker as like his right hand man. That was hilarious.
Let me ask a question. Does John Walker not enhance? Because since we're doing the remakes of Origins and stuff, like
I guess not.
Because he got I just feel like it's him being a super soldier.
When I heard his voice, I said, "Is that Rogue Agent?" I was like, "That's Rogue Agent." So I had to look it up. I was like, "Yep, it's John Walker." I can't believe that's Wyatt Russell, and I was like, "That's wild."
Yeah, Wyatt Russell,
I couldn't believe it.
He was in it.
But I was excited about that. Like those two, like their dynamic was great.
My bad, you got me, because it's like, why would they not give? How come Kamala and Riri and everyone got their powers and their organs, but we get Wyatt Russell as his agent, and he's just a regular dude. Like I don't know. Would have been excited for them to have like him be like a captain. We could have seen, because we hadn't got to see him do too much, but that could have given them a chance to show off his this is why he's different than Captain America. He's just as good. He's a little bit more. I mean, they did show this in Thunderbolts, but visually, you know, you can get away with a lot more in animation in terms of like showcasing their powers and how effective these characters can be. And I just think that was such a maybe they couldn't pay him enough for the episode. I don't know, but that bugs me that he was just regular John Walker without the powers.
Yep.
I think we should talk about the ending now. So it's 4 episodes. I want to talk about 2 things for the ending. So we built throughout episodes 1 to 3. We've got this whole thing of Miss Marvel finds this device, and they say she needs to take it into space to call the Nova Corps in, which also I thought was cool that they mentioned the Nova Corps, because we haven't had a mention of the Nova Corps since Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or something. And they have this whole build up to the Nova Corps are going to come and save all their asses. And even when they got to space, I was like, really? Like, they're going to hand over saving the universe to someone else, because you've made Miss Marvel the central character, and you're just going to get someone else to come. Because I did keep questioning that as we were going along. They get to space. Nope, the Nova Corps have known about this for ages, and they're not interested in helping. They're interested in containing the Earth, and that's about it. So they all go back to Earth. And whilst there's an element of disappointment that they led up to that, I also thought, no, I'm glad. I want to see our heroes kind of win the day. So I thought that was an interesting journey, so to speak. And then that builds up to the revelations of Thanos and the Infinity Hulk, and then a huge battle, which I think if that had been on the big screen, that would have been spectacular to see live action. It would have been on par with, I think, Endgame. And then it leads to the confrontation between Miss Marvel and the Red Queen, or whatever she's called, the Red Queen, Wanda Maximoff, and resetting the Earth, apparently. But I did feel they pulled some pages from WandaVision here with her whole hex thing. I wanted to ask you guys something. Did you guys ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No.
There's an episode in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you don't need to have watched it, but there's one episode. You know how they have these shows where they do, like when they're 22 episodes, so they do one-off episodes. And there's an episode quite early on, and I don't know, Steph, I don't know if you remember this, where they show Buffy Summers in a mental institution, keeps flicking between being the Slayer and then being in the mental institution, and then it ends kind of open-ended, that it goes back to the mental institution.
Reality.
Yeah, which reality is real. And when I watched this, I really went back to that Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode of which reality is real. And it was literally how this ended, which reality is real. I think we know which reality is real, but yeah, it's a trick that other people have done in the past, but I just suddenly came back to Buffy when I was watching it. So
I mean, I don't actually Zeb Wells writing credits for shows. I'm curious. I know he's friends with like people like Drew Goddard, who's close with like Joss. Like a lot of those guys got their start with Joss Whedon on like Buffy and Angel. But I wouldn't be surprised, like if he took, I can see Zeb Wells being a big Buffy fan. I think he actually might have wrote some of the comics, like season 8 or something like that, when they, after the show ended and they started up like the new season in Dark Horse. Yeah, I that's a good call. I hadn't seen that episode in a while, but that is a cool little endpoint, I guess, to leave off on. Even we know it's not all good. I was confused a little bit as to why Kamala kind of like gave in though. Like I don't know. Like I just maybe all hope was lost.
Although
and
that
I am also.
Well, yeah, that disappointed me that she kind of handed over to.
I didn't get. I mean, I think there's something I'm missing though with that. What they're trying to convey with that, like maybe she saw another plan, but I don't know. I feel at the same time I don't know if I feel like Infinity Hulk shouldn't have been. He should have been unstoppable, even for like a sorcerer zombie, Wanda Maximoff and her undead army. That's quite a clash, but I don't know. He's got the power of the universe, from the foundational stones of the universe. She's a mutant, like or her sorcery. We don't, what are the limit? I guess I don't know. It's like she doesn't have anything to enhance her from the core of the universe. Like she's not birthed from an Infinity Stone. He's wielding the Infinity Stones. I just felt like they kind of made Infinity Hulk too much of a. Was he trying to hold the energy in? Was the reason he had to? Okay.
He was an anchor. He was an anchor, and she was just raising an army to basically hold him down so she could just touch him and take
siphon the power. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I can let that slide then, that he couldn't really pop off like that. I definitely we're going to get a season 2. They have to give it to us. Very curious as to how it picks up. Especially with the characters. So many people died. And now that you mentioned Winter Soldier, I'm curious to see where they would take that story. Like, has he been running like a underground strike force this whole time? Trying to take out zombies, and we're gonna pick up on his story where he's got maybe he meets Kamala or so. I don't know. I'm very curious to see how they'll continue this.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, how it ends, and like I said, we are going to spoil it.
Yes.
They throw up a whole thing around the world, which gives you the impression that it's potentially been reset, and she gets to go out with Riri and Kate Bishop, and she goes for lunch, and then all of a sudden, sort of reality fades in and out, and you see Ironheart fighting, trying to make her way across the street, and that kind of, and she's like, "Don't believe what you see, don't believe what you see," and then it just sort of ends with a shock on her face, and that's how it ends. And it's very diverse, very not diverse. It's very what's the word? Diversive? Is that the word? Where it's
oh yeah.
Where they yeah, you know what I mean. Where they kind of divisive ending. Where there's a part of me thought this is a pretty cool ending if they just ended it there. Like there's because I'm open to endings where that can be irritating, but I feel like really I'd rather have a season 2 if I'm honest.
Pull me in, coach. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how I felt about this ending. Awful. I was so mad. I get how they wanted to end it like this, but like, I don't know, man. Well, like, I thought it was just such a what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like it's just such a cop-out ending, almost.
There's no closure.
There's no closure. I get you want to end it on a cliffhanger to hopefully maybe we'll get something else. I really doubt it. I really don't think we're going to, just because everything's numbers based, right? Like that's what a lot of these companies want to see. They want to see numbers. They want to see more revenue. They want to see more clicks, more views, and stuff like that. And if Marvel Zombies, these 4 episodes, didn't get enough clicks, they're done with it. They're just going to say,
Do we know?
and I don't want them to end it like that.
I don't. Do we know the viewership on it though? Did they release those? Because I know
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they're very stingy when it comes to stuff. Like I know Netflix never releases numbers. We just got to take their word. Like they're like, this show's a hit. We're like, all right.
Right. And like I've never seen. I didn't see Ironheart the show, so I don't know how well or like I don't think the reception around that was great. I know the reception around the Miss Marvel show and the movie wasn't great, but it's like I don't know, man. Like you got something like this that was so awesome, like incredibly awesome, and then the way that you end it on a cliffhanger to hopefully we get more. I don't want that hope. I want more.
I've looked it up, and it says Marvel Zombies' initial viewership performance on Disney Plus was strong, topping the charts in the first 3 days, exceeded Marvel's expectations. However, ultimately it's performed poorly and has had less than 400 million viewing minutes. So I don't know how that compares to other things, but
I don't know. But other than that, it was great. But the ending just kind of fell short for me. I don't mind cliffhangers if we've got something else to like, in the works. Like there was a cliffhanger, and then maybe like a few months later they were like, Marvel Zombies season 2. I'd be like, yes, okay, perfect. But I don't know. But I think you're right. I think it does leave up to the imagination. What is the reality? Where are we going?
That's where it reminded me of that Buffy thing, because Buffy, that Buffy episode, she dips in and out of is she in a mental institution or is she the vampire slayer? And in the vampire slayer episode, she's trying to defeat this demon, and they're all saying, "Oh, this demon is pulling her into this psychiatric ward," and then in the psychiatric ward the doctor's trying to convince her to come back into that reality, and which one is the real one. And it ends with her completely withdrawn in the institution, not non-verbal, sort of in the corner or whatever, and the psychiatric ward, they close the door to her room, and that's how it ends. So it ends with which one, and then obviously the next episode is another monster of the week. And that's that made me think of this, was which one is the real reality? The one with Ironheart shouting out, "Don't believe what you see," and her sitting at the table. I personally, my belief is that the zombies are still there. And
I think that's definitely what they're trying to convey. I think, like I said, once again, there was no closure. So it's like, had they gone with this ending, but we had gotten closure, the ending would have fit, because it's like, oh, we thought everything was good, but there was nothing good that was wrapped up by the end of the story. So for them to leave off on that note, it's not this point, or it doesn't hit, because it's like, had Kamala not given in and found some heroic way to beat Scarlet Witch or whatever, and the world went back to normal, we thought we were gonna get in a happy ending, but then we saw like reality was distorted, would have fit. But because we didn't get any closure, like that, it's like, well, the world was already in a shit place to begin with. So it's like, we got we got one shit ending, we got a shit ending, and then no surprise, it's another shit ending. They weren't bad, but it's not a happy ending. We thought, you already told us we weren't getting a happy ending, then you confirmed we weren't getting a happy ending. So I think if they would have just gave us more closure for that journey, because that really bugs me. Like Kamala did all that just to kind of give up. Like that confused the shit out of me.
Defeating Wanda would have been fine. It could have still been a zombie world. It didn't need to be that she defeated Wanda and suddenly everybody was human again. It could have been this boss is dead, but actually we do know that there are other people out there. Like we know, what is it? Captain Marvel, we know, is a zombie
fighting Adam Warlock.
In a desert somewhere. So like, why couldn't that have been the villain of season 2? Fighting Adam Warlock, which I thought was cool, by the way.
Same.
I agree with you. The ending sucked ultimately. It was a strange choice to take. Maybe it's because they didn't know 100% season 2, so they were like, well, let's kind of wrap it up in that it's left down to the viewer to interpret the ending.
Right.
That's the way I went. I think
I interpret it was garbage.
Do you know what? I think even if they didn't get season 2, I would have been more than happy for them to have left it as a zombie world. But with the Red Queen, having her head popped or something. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why she couldn't have popped her head. She popped someone else's head with her magic powers. So.
Yeah. I really don't like that we have this precedence that throughout all these Marvel movies, you know, the Scarlet Witch is like, she's struggling with, you know, losing her brother, having her kids taken away, all this stuff, and now like she's the big bad. Like she's the big evil. Like I don't want her to be evil. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of people want her to be evil because inherently she's not. She's just hurt and like I don't know. I just don't I don't like her being bad.
In the comics, you get because no one ages. They you can have her be a villain, that she can come back and be a good guy. But it's like in reality, people age, so it's like Elizabeth Olsen isn't going to be playing Scarlet Witch for that much longer. So it's like, leaving her off on a note of where she's like the Scarlet Witch of the MCU is a bad guy. You know, that is kind of leaves a bad taste.
I hope they bring her back for some sort of redemption storyline because I didn't enjoy that either.
I think they will. I definitely think she'll have her redemption because I think the way that, you know, Multiverse of Madness ended, I think she's still bound to be a little bit more evil, but she'll have her
even I think they're being hush hush about it, but that Vision Quest show they're doing, like they finally casted the Speed, so they've got both her sons cast, so that, you know, they'll be popping up. So if they're popping up, for sure she's gonna be. They're not gonna bring back Paul Bettany and not bring back Elizabeth Olsen. You know, they just that wouldn't be right. I would hope they wouldn't do that, but yeah.
I was just saying, look, we'll try and wrap things up now. We rate the show out of 5. Devaughn, what would you feel this gets?
I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, just because the ending I didn't really like it, but like everything else was absolutely top notch. I think they knocked it out of the park with this show. It's the first time I've watched a Marvel show in a very long time. I want to say Loki season 1, maybe. Yeah, Loki season 1. I think so.
Have you seen Loki season 2 yet?
No.
Oh, that's good as well.
I haven't seen any Marvel shows since Loki season 1. So.
X-Men 97.
I need to watch that.
I got to get into that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think they did a really good job. I think they crushed it. Hopefully we get a season 2. I'm hoping because I really like that. So we'll see.
Stef?
I think I initially, when I covered this with Verno, I believe I gave it like a 4.5, but I'm going to downgrade just a little bit. I'm going to go with Devaughn and for the 5. The whole origin thing with the Riri stuff, that's something that's I'm going to be trying to create headcanon for that now.
I'm sorry.
To an unhealthy degree. No, it's okay. But you know, that's something I didn't realize until you brought that up. It's a valid point. Yeah, I think just creatively, you know, stagnant. They can be creatively stagnant sometimes because they only have a certain framework to tell their stories. And that ending, like that whole we got that journey, and it's like, what? I don't know. Yeah, it's very solid though. Like that, I watched that all in like one day. I haven't done that for like a Marvel show. I've watched Marvel shows, but I haven't been like keen to like absorb them all in one sitting. So yeah, it's very strong, 4 out of 5.
I think there's more pros for me than there is negatives. I think, like you said, Steph, if you start, Devaughn, if you start trying to break down the timelines and how does this all fit together, give you a headache in the end trying to create the new canon for these people. Look, animation, that's like a 5 out of 5. Acting is like a 5 out of 5. Obviously, detractors are things like we just said about how all their origins fit together. The ending is a complete negative for me. I didn't love it. I was kind of underwhelmed. I think that's probably how I felt. We've been on this real adrenaline rush for 4 episodes of trying to beat the Red Queen, and ultimately she didn't beat the Red Queen. What kind of let down? You know, they chickened out at the ending. I don't know why they decided to chicken out, but they chickened out. So I was hesitating between 3 and 4. I think I'm going to go with 4. So 4 out of 5. I think it's sort of around. We're all 4 out of 5. So.
Yes.
It was fun. It was a fun experience.
It was a fun series, and yeah, I agree. It's a fun series. Ultimately, I just think the ending just takes away a little bit. But you know that I still keep coming back to the animation is so good, so high level.
Crisp. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, the
They
other
need
thing
to
I want to
keep
give it
that.
to is Marvel for being brave and actually doing something different.
Well, they've been slowly toying their way that with the, ever since like before that. Like I remember being shocked that because every like most Marvel movies PG-13 you're allowed to use at least one F-bomb. I don't know if that's changed, but I remember being shocked hearing Star-Lord drop the F-bomb in Guardians 3. I was like, oh wow, Marvel's actually utilizing that rule. He was like, get in the effing car. Sorry, my dogs are or open the effing door. But yeah, I think they've been slowly. They have to because they want to incorporate certain characters, and they're not gonna like Deadpool. Even someone like Blade is not gonna work well with the established MCU they've been going for. They're gonna have to start getting a little darker, and they have. I'm glad that they could be a little bit more bold. I think they're still kind of pussyfooting a little bit sometimes, but this was. To your point, I think this was very ballsy of them I didn't expect it to be as gnarly as it was with like, heads popping off and all that type of stuff and arms through chests and whatnot. So yeah, I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, I really hope there's more. I enjoyed I enjoyed the story and the journey we went on. I enjoyed the tone of it, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a lot more. And what's great for me is I do agree with you, Devaughn. I don't want to see Wanda keeping the bad guy. I would like to see Wanda's redemption story. However, as a bad guy, she's quite rich in terms of background and character development, and someone you can buy into and be interested in. Marvel, unfortunately, comes out with a really lot of weak villains in a lot of their content they put out. It's great that they prioritize the hero's journey, but a lot of the time they don't put anything into the villain story. And even we referenced the Marvels movie earlier. I can't even remember who the bad guy was, but you had Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Photon, and it was the amazing dynamic between those three lead females was just so fire. And that's one of the reasons I love that movie. But the villain was completely forgettable. And Marvel does this a lot with a lot of their content, creates forgettable villains. This is not a forgettable villain. The Red Queen was a really strong, badass thing. I actually love her scene where she is human and then she's getting them all to eat zombie body parts. And that almost was a setup for the end, her using her hex.
Yeah.
She's not a bad guy to mess with, really.
No. She's not.
Right.
She's smart.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, look, we'll start to end this show now. Look, Devaughn, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Stef, thanks for being here every week. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Don't worry, man. Look, I've had dogs play up on me before. Well, I've only got the one. You've got more than one. Do they wind each other up?
All the time. All the
time. What are their ages?
7 and 6.
Yeah.
My girl dog is 6. My boy dog 7. He'll be 8 like next month though.
So Devaughn, all being well, you should be back next week. And
Yes.
next week we're gonna be watching another animation, My Adventures with Superman, which looks very beautiful, to be honest. I watched the first episode already.
That's Jack Quaid, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you can follow us on social media. We're Instagram, Facebook, etc. Mostly Instagram. We'll also be dropping this on podcasting platforms. So please do all the usual. If you're on YouTube, like and comment. And if you're on any form of podcasting, please feel free to, give us 5-star reviews and tell your geeky friends. But look, thanks very much, guys. We will dip out and we will see you next week.
Yes.